What's going on, sir?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you good.
All right. I don't know what the issue was, but it was there and I overcame it.
Oh, good, good,
Are
good,
you
good. We've
are
already got
you live?
we're yeah, we are live now. Yep, we already got 10 people in the house already.
Gotcha.
Been busy.
Yes, sir. Been covered up with this catfish conference.
I figured that's what you were doing last week,
Yep.
getting everything ready for next week or for the
Yep.
for the next couple of weeks. So we'll get
Yeah.
in. We'll get into talking a little bit about that.
Say it again.
I said we'll get into talking a little bit about that one and the ones coming up in Louisville next year in February. We'll start talking about some of that.
Perfect. I'm gonna let you have the show. You just tell me when to talk.
All right, this is all about you, so we'll get talking about tackle. So I know you're the man with the monster rod holders and stuff like that, and the nets and stuff. But what kind of rods do you like using?
Rods.
Yep.
I've always been tangling with catfish guy. So I was the first guy to be pro staff with tangling with catfish when Jeremy Leach had it back in maybe 2006 or something like that. But the rods I use now are monster rods, but they are powered by tangling with catfish.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
What size do you like using? What is the medium heavy,
I believe
heavy,
it's, yeah, it's a medium heavy.
maybe heavy?
Extreme series, I believe it is.
Okay. 8 foot
Mhm.
rod, 7.6,
It's a 7.6.
7.6.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, man, I'm not much of a tackle guy. If you're looking for precise tackle and stuff, that I'm not your guy.
Mm-hmm. No,
I,
no, no.
I
I
fish
just
out of a Walmart bag most of the time. So if
hey,
that tells you anything,
that that works for us. Really, I mean, what the show is all about is just basically bringing somebody on, talk about what they use, what
mhm,
works for them,
right?
and basically just like talking to people that are just getting into the community, getting into fishing, and just kind of like, hey, you don't have to go after these $100, $200, $300 rods and reels. You can start out small, work your way up if you need to. Basically, that's
Yeah,
what we're talking about.
gotcha.
But most of the time, we'll just talk about what you use personally, what you think is best for you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be a
So,
simple guy. I'll tell you that. So
oh, that's fine. Hey,
yeah,
that's perfectly fine. We got 13 people in the house. We got Maurice Kaysen. We got Larry from 3 Plus 1. We got Sunfish Assassin, Ryan Bortz, Blue Collar Life. We've got Michael Murillo, the Murillo Family Fishing. Fishing with Big Mike. We got Day Animals Creations. We got J Doggone Fishing. Green Whale Fishing, Mixture Mike Green Whale, Bumping Mike. James Kirkpatrick. And I think there was a few others. We have actually Chrissy Brown was in here, Ernie Brown, Central Valley CVA, Lance Mukuga, and Mike's Fishing Home. Appreciate y'all coming here. 12 people. There's a Cincinnati cat. What's going on, sir? So we kind of went over your rods. What kind of reels do you like pairing with those rods?
I use Cat Max rods from Bass Pro. And if you don't know the story about that, I had all my Abus and Calcuttas and all
Mm-hmm.
that, but I had my stuff stolen one time before a tournament, and I had to go to Bass Pro or somewhere and get a cheap six
Mm-hmm.
more rods and reels, and I bought their combos, and that was prior to tangling with catfish. But once I
Mm-hmm.
got signed on with tangling with catfish, I kept the Cat Max reels.
Gotcha.
Mainly because they're $69 and they mess up, you can go get
Mm-hmm.
you another one fairly quick.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. I
Mhm.
understand that one completely.
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
I'm not beating down the other reels and stuff out there.
No.
The little smaller reels, they just kind of suit me a little bit better because I come from a bass
Mm-hmm.
background and I actually hold my rod and reel all at the same time when I'm cranking, not just the rod.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. I'm sort of the same way. I'm come from a bass fishing, creek fishing background to get into catfishing, so I'm the same way.
Yes, sir.
Um, so kind of give a I know a lot of people know exactly who you are, but kind of give them an idea of like just your background. I know you said you come from a bass fishing background, but just kind of give them an idea who you, where you're from, and stuff.
Well, I'm just Kentucky, and 2008 put me in a big bind in life, and I just got frustrated. Went fishing. I always went fishing, but I started catfishing with a buddy. He turned me on to it. And the first 20 pounder I caught on Cumberland River, that was the end of it. That was nearly 20 years ago, and I'm still here 20 years later.
Hmm.
Actually made a business out of it. So it was kind of good that my stuff went down in 2008 because I come up twice as good, and I like what I'm doing
Hmm.
better. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
mhm. But yeah, just Kentucky guy, just been fishing, going fishing. I just was fortunate enough to meet a young fellow back maybe around 2006 or seven that introduced me to YouTube. And I thought, well, heck, I can do that. Give me a camera. And that's what I did. I put myself on YouTube, and here we are, I don't know, maybe 15 years later. I don't know how long I've
Hmm.
been on, 14, 12, 14 years.
Hmm.
It's been a hard road, YouTube
Oh yeah,
is. Yeah.
yeah. It's. I mean, anybody is getting into it like with all we're doing, but I mean, it takes a lot of work to do what we do, and especially
Well,
what you do.
yeah, I've noticed the newer YouTubes, like you said, I guess this is YouTube here, or
Hmm. Yeah.
a lot of the newer YouTubes, the guys today are having fun with it. I
Hmm.
never did do it for money. I never did do it for fame. I just started putting it out there, and people just
Hmm.
started expecting it, and I put more and more out. But yeah, more you younger guys and the newer YouTubers, they're having more fun with it, doing the
Hmm.
live. That's pretty new here recently is the live. So like we're doing
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and my biggest thing is, I mean, yeah, I could sit on the bank and do it live, but I started venturing out and actually doing live from the creeks, creek fishing. So I'll
Mhm.
bring my phone, my tripod out in the middle of the creek, and then just walk the creek while it's live. So
That
that's
sounds
that's
like a
kind of
lot of
new to me. It is. It's having, and especially now that I can figure out and have somebody on with me as like a co-host.
fun. Mhm.
Now that helps because I can venture away from the phone and they can read chat and people's asking questions and stuff like that. So it gets more interactive instead of just everybody just sitting there actually watching me fish, and I
Mhm.
might not say nothing for a while.
Right.
So
Yeah. Now, Bullock experience. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How'd you get
I'm
started
from.
in YouTube? Where are you from?
I'm actually just 3 hours south of you, actually in Somerset, Kentucky.
Okay. Lake
I'm off the
Cumberland.
Lake Cumberland. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And I've been fishing my entire life. I've been fishing the Pittman Creek, Lake Cumberland, all those areas. But got into doing this back at the first of the year because of my brother from Chesapeake Bay catfishing.
Mhm.
He does a lot of fishing up there in Aberdeen, Maryland, and
I got you.
so he kind of got me into it. So that's where I got my start at.
Well, there's not very many fish down at Lake Cumberland, but how about below
Mm-hmm.
it? Have you went below it and tried to
Not
fish?
not yet. I've not done much of that. We've been just trying to find our spots here because right now I don't have a boat, so I've been just doing bank. So find the new. I mean, you kind of know the areas around. You know, there ain't much bank access to a lot of our areas down here.
Right.
So just trying to travel. I drove up. Drove up to Ohio River and fished with J Dog and them. I've been up on Linville and Lake and Cedarville Lake and places like that, trying to fish those areas. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
just finding the areas. But yeah,
Uh,
I'll venture down south.
yeah. Yeah. They got some good areas. Go to the Tennessee River. You can fish from the bank. A lot of spots down there. Of course, you probably
Okay.
hear Catfish Dave and a few of them guys down there.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a really good fishery. I'm not,
Oh
and
yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Are.
not taking anything away from them. They're all good fishermen, but it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
help to have a fishery like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I hear it all the time. And Miss Paula's always is nice to let me know what kind of she gets on down there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun time. Paula, she's been on a couple 80 pounders down in her neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
But
absolutely.
the protection gets on down around past in Tennessee and all that. But the river she's on, part of the Kentucky River, our Tennessee River, the commercial guys beat it up.
Do they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So we talked a little bit about your rods. We've talked about your reels. What's your go-to fishing line?
I use my own line. I have monster line. I've been using.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
As far as my mono leader,
I
have been using Optimax, I believe it is, that you get at Walmart. $3 spool of 50-pound 50-pound mono. The guy that taught me how to catfish in the early days, that's what he used, and I've been using it ever since. I've tried the big game, Berkeley big game, and all those others. They're not. They may be good for main line, but they're not good for leader line. So I use the cheap Walmart stuff. Never let me down. Never let me down.
Now, what size test do you use on your main line?
65, anywhere between 65. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We carry the 55 in here up to 80, and I've got 65, 55, 80, and 65. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, when you connect them, do you just connect them with like a straight, like a swivel barrel, or what?
It depends on what I'm throwing at them. But if I'm gonna do a Carolina rig, I do a main line down to a swivel, and then a swivel. Of course, I got to put the sinker on it before you tie the swivel. I've been known to do that a couple times without tying on, and then have to retie again. You get excited about it. But yeah, main line, a swivel, and then about an 18-inch leader, and I use a Mustad hooks are my best. The ones I like, the Demon Circles.
Yeah,
I've been using them for probably 10 years.
And that's just something you rather go and use, or just you hadn't really tried much of others, or?
Well, that's one I've been using for a while. I got sponsored at them about 10 years ago, and then they got weird and unsponsored to everybody, including Kevin Van Dam and a bunch of guys. And I've just had so many of them. I actually bought a big lot of them at one time. I was going to resell them, rebrand them and resell them, but that never happened. I use them too quickly. And I don't have that. I don't have that connection anymore. You know, the connections are old guys that I've been around so long. Most of the guys are retiring now, and the new guys are like Steve Douglas. Who is he? I don't know him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people coming into being new into the catfish world, if they not really grew up watching anybody or listening to anybody fish before, like you or Bill Dance or any of the bigger guys into the fishing world, they don't know any of them.
Right. Well, you got to be on top of it. I took about a 2-year break with YouTube. I put a video out every now and again, but man, that really hurt me. I used to be able to put a video out and get 20, 30, 40,000 views in the first day. And that doesn't happen anymore. I don't know if they've changed their algorithm or if they've lost interest in me because I quit for 2 years. And, sometimes you got to take a break. You've been on YouTube for 14, 15 years. You got, how much stuff can you teach people? I mean, the stuff I've taught people over the years are now like guys like you are now teaching another crowd coming up. It's just it's a vicious circle for sure. But I don't know if YouTube's changed. I do have a lot more competition now than I used to be the only catfish guy. Now it's a lot of people, which tells me that we've done our job in helping the sport grow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we've got a great bunch of kids coming up too in our community with a lot of our families and stuff. The kids are into it now and loving it, getting these tournaments going for these kids. So we've got a good group getting ready to come up that's going to be the next generation.
Right. Yeah, it's been fun along the way, and I'm still having fun. It's been some heartache along the way too, but that comes with everything, I guess.
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah, there's getting some comments in and stuff. Says fishing with the Chad. Says I remember teaching Steve Douglas everything he knows. Now look at him,
Look at me go.
Chad.
Look at me go.
Yep. Yes, I know. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of throwing jokes at me. I'm one of those kids. Yeah. Hey, I'm still learning. Hey, I honestly don't think that anybody these days knows everything about catfishing. Everybody's learning new stuff. I mean, I've learned some new stuff that I thought I knew too. So hey,
Yeah, you constantly learn, and there's little
yep.
tricks that we'll find every day.
Oh yeah. Oh here's one. He said he'll do it today. So there's your call out.
What is it?
J Dog Gone Fishing wants to do a 1 versus 1 against you.
I don't know what that is. Y'all talking that new lingo, I don't understand.
He wants to go up against you like set certain terms like you all fish in a set of hours, and I'm guessing biggest fish or most fish wins.
Where's he fishing at?
He fishes the Ohio River.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
was it a YouTube thing?
yeah. It'll be a YouTube thing live.
Yeah, I don't have a. See, that's the thing. I'd like to go live, but I got the stupidest cell phone service. T-Mobile absolutely sucks.
Oh,
It's good in my parking lot, but if I go down to the river, or if I go, somewhere else,
mm-hmm.
uh, and it goes out. But now, I mean, if he goes to go to the Ohio River, I'm not opposed to doing something with you guys, but
Mm-hmm.
man, I don't have the time. When I go fishing, I just have to let's go fishing, and I don't
Yeah,
get to
you're
plan nothing. Don't get to
yeah your
plan.
last minute thing. Yes, last second minute thing is like okay, I've got everything done today. Let's go fishing now.
Yeah, I've got several guys that I've promised I'll go fishing with them this year, and just things
Mm-hmm.
have come up. And when you're in the fishing business, that's the thing. A lot of you guys are coming up, and I see you getting into little products here and there and doing things. The more
Mm-hmm.
you do, the less time you have fishing.
Oh yeah.
I used to go fishing all the time, as you can see my prior videos. But now that I've
Oh
kind
yeah.
of business in it, all that stuff slows down. So be careful what you wish for, guys. If you do like to fish, I wouldn't try to get in the fishing business other than YouTube or something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be tied down to it while everybody else is out fishing. I have to stay here and work.
That's why it's been hard to get you on doing this because I think what we've been trying to talk about for the last couple months now. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but J Dog, I guess as one of these days we'll get together. But sad thing is, I would probably smoke him because I'd have to go to the Tennessee River while he's sitting on the Ohio River.
Oh.
Now I would do it on the Ohio River with somebody, but I'd have to go down somewhere below Louisville or somewhere. I know there's,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to get in a big thing about that, but again,
Mm-hmm.
commercial fishermen, they've
Yeah.
destroyed some stuff.
Yeah. He fishes over there toward Wilder, Kentucky, over in that area. So right below Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, man, that's a tough area. That's up there.
Mm-hmm.
He'd probably smoke me in that area for sure if I had to go up there. I got some good spots. I used to win some tournaments up there in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yep.
Tanner's Creek?
I think so. Something like that. Yeah. If I
Yeah, I used
remember
to
correctly.
fish up there quite a bit back in the early days.
Mr. Thomas Littlepage from Laughing Cats Fishing wants to know what is your most memorable fishing trip?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to tell you, and most of you probably ain't gonna believe it, but it happened, and I do have a lot of it on tape. I just haven't sent it out. But this past August, during the full moon on Nickajack Lake, I started at 6 o'clock in the evening because it was really, really hot. Started catching fish, had to quit catching fish at 2 o'clock in the morning because I could not get them over the boat anymore. But I never had so many 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and possibly triple digits that I did that night. I probably had 800-pounder plus fish.
Oof.
Now I did get to take a picture of one off of my thing, but what I did, I got this idea that I wanted to start organizing my tapes and stuff, or my CDs. So I used a 10-year-old hard drive, put all my information on it, and then when I tried to extract it, that hard drive couldn't get the information quick enough into my editor. So somehow or another, I messed around. For days I worked on this, and finally I accidentally just deleted everything. I had a lot of stuff
Oh.
with peel and drag, catfishing, where I went to the Mississippi River
Mhm.
and fished with him on the bank, and I had all that. But that was from the camera that Lisa was using. But the camera that was
Mhm.
behind me, I got all of it, but I just can't use it because Lisa don't want to be on film. So yeah, so that
Mm.
was my most memorable night. It was probably the most excruciating just because I lost it and wanted it on film
Mhm.
back. So awesome night on the Tennessee River, Nickajack during a full moon.
Yeah, we got one that's in here in chat that fishes down there, fishing with Big Mike. He does a lot of that down there. He fishes off the pier down there toward that area.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like I say, there's a lot of good fishing down in that area. I mean, it strings from Pickwick all the way up to probably Watts Bar. I can't say anything about Fort Loudon. I've been to Fort Loudon a couple
Mhm.
times and fished, but according to Catfish Dave, it's Fort Lousy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
I've heard
not
that a few times. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's mostly the pleasure boaters. I think that's what they call it. Either they say it's.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice water. They got some nice deep canyon like areas up there that looks real fishy, but I can't say that. And I fished it during a Cabela's tournament years ago, so it's probably been 5, 6, 7 years since I've seen the lake.
Mhm. We got chunky cats fishing in the house going on Elstan.
I love that guy, Elstan. He's such a
Yep.
fun fella.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
he
what
is
you know
absolutely.
the guys are having fun with this, and that's the way it should be.
Oh, here you go. Says so. Who is the guy that took you fishing for catfish the first time?
Well, I've always fished for catfish, but I didn't realize there was big fish in the river. I mean, I'd always go get some stink bait and go up here to Louisville Dam where there was 100-pounders probably, but I'd be using stink bait, because I didn't know any better. But a fellow by the name of Gary Waddell, he's the one that kind of got me turned on to bass fishing too, uh, 30, 40 years ago. But yeah, he's no longer with us. But yeah, he took me down there and put me on a 20-pounder, and I was hooked. And that was on the Cumberland River
Hmm.
down around Cumberland City, actually, Dover,
Okay.
Tennessee. Yep. Yeah, and he just put me on a 20-pounder. We struggled that day for me. It was a cold day. I mean, it was winter. I was gung ho, but I was gung ho about a lot of my fishing trips when I was younger.
Trying to see if I missed any questions from anybody. Avid fisherman's in the house. Mike Turner, 3B fishing, fishing with Mike Mosley. Looks like we've got caught up on all the questions. You usually fish from a boat, but I know I've seen some of your videos that you do fish from the bank. But so what's it like fishing? I know your area. Where do you usually normally fish from the bank in your area?
Oh, to be honest with you, I haven't done a bank fishing video in years, and I did just do a little video
Hmm.
from the bank that I have never been on in years. So that was just a little river down here that I used to run, quite frequently when I was younger. But man, I ain't been on bank fishing since I fished with peel and drag catfishing a few months ago down
Hmm.
on the Mississippi. We didn't do too good that day, but it was fun to get out and hang. But yeah, the bank fishing guys, I do feel sorry for you. I mean, I think what you guys ought to do is get together with Kentucky and Indiana, and they put money into different things throughout the year for stocking weird fish and everything. But that is a problem. You guys really need a good place to fish that might be safe too. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be cool to see. I know I have that bank fishing on Taylorsville every year, and it's sad, but glad that people come back every year. I'm probably going to move that Captain Mad Jacks to Barron River this year or next year because like I said, I've had people come from South Carolina to sit with me on the bank at Taylorsville Lake to fish and not
Mm-hmm.
catch a thing. And there's
Yeah.
50 other people down there experiencing the same thing, not catching nothing. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they need some better advantage points that you guys could walk to or something for sure.
Oh yeah. Chris from Hooks and Hammocks wants to know what inspired you to start the Catfish Conference.
Well, that whole story is Jeff Jones Marine had contacted me. They seen my videos and wanted to do a little sponsorship. And I accepted a boat from them and run their boat. And one of the gentlemen that worked there contacted me and says, "Hey, we had thought about doing like a meet and greet, a Steve Douglas Catfish Dude meet and greet." And that's kind of where it came from. I figured I could get 250 people up there to hang out. But when we launched it, we ended up with about 1,500 people. So that's kind of how we started. It was just turned out to be a meet and greet, but ended up being something that it turned into. It was a totally accident, total accident.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, kind of give us an idea of what's coming up with the Kansas one.
the Kansas one, we've got that new swap fisherman swap shop that's pretty cool. Guys can bring in at least up to 5 items. A rod, 2 reels, and some stuff. If they bought something they didn't like or they want to swap and trade, they bring it in. That's going to be new and fun. I am a little disappointed in the boat industry because not at anybody in general, just the pandemic has really got the boat industry upside down right now. There's no boats to be had. So
Mm-hmm.
nobody's really wanting to come display any boats that they can't sell. So that's our only obstacle right now is the lack of boats available for the anglers. But a lot
Mm-hmm.
of fun. We've got the vendors that's there are coming full force. Got a lot of interest from the public in Kansas City as well. And we're working on the one in Kentucky and at the same time. So
Yeah.
if you make the Kansas one, the Kentucky one's going to be the end of February.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to come up for that one. The Kansas one is just a little longer trip for me. But yeah.
Yeah, the Kentucky one's always going to be the largest one. Uh, but,
Mm-hmm.
and it really depends. We're probably going to try to have one. We're in negotiations right now with one out in the East Coast, like maybe in June, something like that. So yeah, we just keep growing. We just need the economy to stay good, and that's another
Yep.
reason why I decided to have the second one right before the holidays is to help give these small businesses another little chance to get a little bit of money before the first of the year. It's always hard in the fishing business right now because deer season. I mean, it's like with most any fishing store, October, November, it's like they turn the lights off because nobody's trying to fish. They all try and kill that big buck.
Mm-hmm. Um, they want to know if you have any plans for one around the OKC or Dallas for those that are in the central U.S. or toward
Oklahoma
the
City,
farther west.
we are thinking about something in Texas. I'm not sure exactly where yet, but we've had something in the works with Texas for a couple of years, but the pandemic's really held us back.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know there's a lot of people that's over in the West that actually are part of this community and stuff too, and they would love to be able to get to one that's closer to them instead of having to travel so far.
Oh, Texas, man, is their own country, really. When you look at that, they are so huge, and them boys love to fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm buddies with Chris Flores. I'm sure everybody knows Muddy River catfishing, but he was talking to me the other night about these guys got special rods. I mean, like 14-foot rods and stuff. They sling these things out, or they'll take drones and they'll take their baits and balloons like half a mile out in that lake and then drop them. I guess because it's it's like only 2 and 3, 4 foot deep for so long out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chris is talking me into coming out there, but yeah, them boys are serious about their fishing in Texas.
I know you just got done doing a trip with him down on the Tennessee River.
Yeah. Yeah, sadly, I tried to put him on some fish, but we did get on some good fish. I got some video of that, but he didn't catch anything. He let his daughter and son-in-law catch everything.
Mm-hmm.
We got some good 40s, so a couple nice 40s.
Yeah, I saw some little small bits and pieces of stuff that he's kind of videotaped a little bit of it, and
yeah,
it was good. It was good for them to get on something good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got a bunch of videos in the works right now, but I'm just so busy with everything else, I can't get them out. I've got his 95% done. I've got 2 others 90% done. I can't decide on what to go out first and when to get them out. But
Mm-hmm.
I did get a lot of work done today with the Catfish Conference, which is going to free my time up a little bit to do some other things prior here to the event.
Yeah, Dan says he calls it the Oklahoma is the flathead capital. I don't know. That's some people beg to differ. I know one lady, she calls herself Pontoon Jody. She'll say that down there in Tennessee's got flatheads. That's the flathead capital. I don't know.
Depends on where you go. I mean,
yeah.
Wheeler Lake, pretty good with flatheads. Gunnersville's pretty good with flatheads. I've caught plenty of 70s on Gunnersville and Wheeler both, and plenty of them. I mean, nights where you just catch 14, 15, 40 plus fish, flatheads at that.
Whisker and Strap says, so Steve does his own editing. He says, kind of amused that Lisa did that. So
Lisa don't want no part of nothing fishing wise. She don't mind doing the videos, but I've always been the one that does the editing. And I had to learn this.
I mean, you know what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep. What's a good shot? What's not a good shot for you, for what you want to put out, what content you like.
Oh yeah. Oh, sometimes it takes a long time to do some videos. I still do a little bit of it, but I used to do some old school illustrations too. But all that takes time. I don't know. I know there's easier ways to do it, like with some different programs, but I have to use Photoshop and just mass produce these little clips. Each kind of got a little movement, to show the bait going down and everything. I wish I had a college education where I could learn some stuff quickly, but I just don't have all the time to get on that. What is it? After Effects? That's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I wish I had a little dude that knew all that, could just put that stuff in and there you go, Mr. Cody. I'm paying good money for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of got away from all that stuff, so I really got away from doing all that computer and all the graphic stuff after high school. So,
well, I had to learn it. If I was going to survive in a computer world, I had to learn everything. And like I say, when I went belly up in 2006, I didn't even own a computer, and it took a befriending a guy on the internet that was an old Army hacker to teach me some stuff. And I'll always be thankful to that dude. He's helped me out quite a bit.
Twisted Fishing TV says, I got all the good compromising videos of Steve and others.
Well,
I don't know what you mean by
videos of me. he was around the Captain Majax one time. He might get some plumber's crack or something out of me, but that's about all he's gonna get.
What's going on, Realville? All right, I think I've caught up with all the questions so far. So, what besides the Catfish conference, what do you got in the works when it comes to tackle for your stuff for the monster stuff?
Well, as far as what I'm gonna have there,
I mean, like, no, I mean, like, what do you got coming? Do you have any ideas of what future stuff you're gonna come out with? I know the rods, and the rod holders and stuff like that.
yeah,
So what? And
I'm gonna try to come out with hooks. I do have line already. I'm gonna try to come out with a good, decent hook,
okay,
and some tackle and a few things like that. Just some stuff to, um, the rod holders is a great business, but the guy buys them one time and they don't break. He's got them for a lifetime. So a business, I've got two guys employed and depending on it. So we're gonna need to get something more residual income. Like hooks, you usually have to come back and get more. So that'll help things a little bit, but nothing major. That's about all we
okay,
have now.
gotcha.
We've got all the
For
you ever want in rod
yeah,
holders, and we've got
oh yeah,
stock. Yeah, you call in here, we'll get stuff out to you same day.
yeah. Anything new with the rod holders? Anything new styles or anything new setups?
No, we're working on a few things, but nothing I can say right now. But we are working
Okay,
on
gotcha,
we're working on some crappie stuff to add to
gotcha,
the catfishing.
gotcha. Freddie, yes, I got my stickers yesterday, and they look good. Mr. John Parker, I mean, you might know that guy
Yeah,
a little bit. He says to let him know if you ever need any tips from a real professional catfish angler. He's here for help.
there you go. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's the one that did that catfish tower, takeoff
Yeah,
tower, tower.
take down. Yeah, take down tower. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't had time to check it out anymore. Did it ever perfect that thing?
Yeah. I think they're getting ready to do that here soon. They're getting ready to come out with another live show. With it. So he's
Another
got to
lot.
replenish. Oh yeah, yeah. He's a real good guy. Him and his wife are a good couple, and It's always been an enjoy to sit there and watch them and listen to them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She don't cut him no slack, does she?
Nope, absolutely not. Ah, here we go. There's a good question. So, what is on your bucket list for fish to catch?
I don't know. I've caught about everything, really. I mean, I've even caught big sturgeon. People don't think that, but I have. I got a video on that as well. It was an accidental catch, but I mean, I'm probably going to go out west and catch a bigger sturgeon. The one I caught was about 6 foot out of the Mississippi River, but I'm probably, and I was catfishing, so the big sturgeon, I guess. I mean, recently it's been crappie and sauger and stuff. I know it's not a bucket list because I've done it before, but I've catfished for so long. I've not crappie fished forever, and I actually went the
Mm,
other day. I got some new depth finders put on my boat, and then I had a guy come out and tune them for me. And while I was there, I bought me some minnows and went crappie fishing, caught me some crappie, and actually fried and ate them. So that's kind of my bucket list, just some different
mm,
stuff. They don't even have to be big.
no. Any saltwater stuff that you're done before or want to do?
No, I mean big fish really don't excite me that much. Bigger than what I'm catching. 100-pound
Hmm.
catfish is about all I want. I've seen those grouper and stuff out there, and that's just I don't want to have to work that hard. I mean, it's a lot of
Hmm.
power. You might as well just grab a rope and a truck and let somebody drag you around for a little while.
Hmm.
I'm not in any shape to be fighting big fish like that anymore. Hell, I can hardly pick them up out of the boat now.
Hmm. So, one thing I was going to ask you is, I know you put out that one bait, one rod, 1 hour challenge.
Mhm.
Did you think it was going to blow up like it did with the certain ones that's been doing it?
No, and I don't see them all, but every now and again I'll see one, and I do go in and thank them for doing it, and I watch their video. Poor old
Mm-hmm.
guy the other day, last one I watched, he did it all day, never caught a thing, but he still put in his time,
Mm-hmm.
and I will have to be honest with you, that was my second try. That was the first try I did. I didn't have no bait or nothing, and I just went with some used bait, and that's kind of what it. But this other time I had fresh bait, and it worked a little bit better for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I didn't do. I mean, the first time there was no fish at all. Pole never moved, nothing. So, but yeah, that's a pretty good little challenge. I've been wanting to do that for a little while, and I've been wanting to do it live. But like I say, you get down there in the Tennessee mountains, the Bigfoot country, and um, my cell phone doesn't pick up. Now I think it picks up on Chickamauga up there where a couple other of them YouTubers fish,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't get the chick very much.
Yeah. There's a compliment. Matt from Wannabe says you're looking good. So it looks like you've lost some weight.
Yes, sir. I'm on a challenge. I've lost right at 40 pounds. I'm 1 pound away from being 40 pounds. And it was just a health thing. You know, I had cancer once before. And when I weighed myself in August, first time I weighed, I was 297. And I was surprised because I thought I was really over 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I was feeling bad and had my same cancer symptoms. And I was too scared to go to the doctor. So I just started eating right and start eating right. I ain't exercising. I ain't gonna lie to nobody. I eat about 800 to 1,000 calories a day, and it's all good stuff. Nothing, no bread. So it's easy to lose weight when you just don't pay attention to it, but just eat right. It's as easy to lose it as it is to gain it. I find.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
but it's willpower. But thank you for noticing. I am
Yeah.
working. I still got another 40 pounds I'd like to get off. And by the way, I'm not feeling like I was before. I still may have something, I don't know, but I'm not feeling as bad as I was.
Oh, here's a good question here. I like this question. Jago wants to know what would it cost for you to take him and his wife out in May for their 20-year anniversary.
I cannot go that far ahead of time, to be honest with you.
I almost could have answered that one.
I mean, man, it's just a matter of time. It ain't that I don't want to do it. It ain't that I think I'm better than anybody else. I'm not. It's the time thing. What
Mm-hmm.
we should do, if everybody wants to do that, what we should do is organize like a little YouTube gathering type thing and go to a lake somewhere and just hang for 2 or 3 days. I know I could get Chris Flores to fly out. We could get a central place. That would be the best thing to do. And you know, actually, there's some cabins down on Nickajack. There's cabins on the
Mm-hmm.
water. We can all go down there and hang in the cabins, and I can fish with J Dog on one day and somebody else the next, and just have a good old time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be
Like
good.
I said, I never know what I'm gonna do from day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy asked me, Vince Nadolski called today. Said, "You gonna be there Friday? I'm gonna bring your uh, audio equipment back." And I said, "I don't know. If I'm not here, drop it in the shed. But I may go fishing. I don't know."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that J Dog. If I could go that far ahead and commit to it, I would. But in the meantime, if y'all want to come up with a hangout time, we can kind of schedule that.
Yeah, I'd be up for a meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Definitely. He said $500.
You would not be surprised at the amount of people that ask me that, and I couldn't charge nobody nothing because I don't have the confidence to put you on fish. But I could probably make a
Yeah.
lot of money. I mean, I've had so many people offer me thousands of dollars to take them, and I can't. For one, I couldn't take money in good faith at all.
Mm-hmm.
That just couldn't do it.
Yeah. Most of them are talking about meet and greets. Lake of the Ozarks would be pretty central. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, it's a little bit of drive, but it still wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, we need. That's what. Yeah. Let's see who it was. It was Larry from 3+1. He said a Kentucky meet and greet would be awesome. Yeah, it would for like, especially like all the Kentucky people trying to get together, and anybody that's outside around us that's close by or doesn't willing to are willing to travel. Wouldn't be too bad.
Well, now, like I say, the Louisville Catfish Conference, I always have a YouTube kind of meet and greet down there.
Hmm.
And we always have a booth for the YouTubers to come in and set up a table if they like. And if they've got like a little, a little something, 20 shirts they want to sell and they put on the table, it's all good. Just come in there and get her done. And the only thing
Yeah.
we ask is if we're going to help the YouTubers out like that is shoot me a little video about the Catfish Conference. How you liked it? Well, how you benefited. So
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
easy to become Catfish Conference family for sure.
Yeah. We got a few of them. Chris from Hooks and Hammocks is part of them. He
Mhm.
did the planer boards.
Yep. Yeah, but like I said, a meet and greet would be cool. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know exactly when that would be good, when it would meet everybody's criteria, but
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said that the Louisville one is going to be basically a meet and greet. The Kansas City is going to be basically a meet and greet. Uh,
yeah, but if everybody wanted to do it, and I could, I add something else to my list, but I could probably organize like that. Um, for it's fun to come hang out inside in February because
hmm.
it's cold. You can't really go out and do anything. And the same thing with November here in Kansas City. It's probably going to be cool, not having fun, but a meet and greet sometime like in May, June, or July, somewhere where it's hot or nice. Uh,
Hmm.
that's what I'd be more up to, for sure.
Well, maybe something we can sit down between like a few of us that are around this area or closer to make it towards central, over closer to you, maybe or a little bit farther over toward the Mississippi. Maybe we may be able to set something up. Maybe just have keep on talking about it.
Well, it just has to be somewhere where everybody's going to be comfortable. A lot of
Hmm.
folks are comfortable in the Mississippi River because it's 3 4 mile an hour current, and
Yeah.
they're used to setting up with anchors and stuff, which you can, but it's harder, to be honest with you.
Oh, there you go. Mike Greenwell wants to know if he could do a video for the CatCon on bumping. What does he
Yes,
need to know and what?
he can if he'd like to do that. I'll have to get him in touch with Hervey. Hervey's my video man that does all the editing, but most likely you'll have to shoot you a YouTube video and then supply that to me or Hervey so he could build a catfish conference YouTube out of it. That's how we've been doing it here recently. And then for the ones that do it, I don't know if Hervey has got a limit on how many he can, but he was looking for a few YouTubers that want to join the Catfish Conference team and do some videos and content for us. So if any guys are interested, let me know. I'll get you in touch with Hervey.
Mhm.
What's the
Uh,
website address? I don't know what website
yeah,
address it is. Just catfishconference.com is, and
yeah,
it'll get to Kansas City or the Louisville one, either
mhm.
one.
And you can also look at the one that's on YouTube, Catfish Conference on YouTube,
Yeah,
CatCon, and it's got all its information, websites and stuff in the about page and stuff. It should be able to direct you right straight over where you need to go on that one too.
yeah. And Hervey's got it set up too. And if you work it out, like I said, I don't. Everybody's not guaranteed, but if you work it out, you can make a little money with it as well. We're not we get monetized, but we share the monetization with the creators, if that's
Hmm.
such a word, monetization.
Hmm. Yeah, they're talking about just search monster rod holders. Yeah, that'll work too.
Yeah, monster rod holders will get you close, but catfish conferences, they'll get you right on it.
Yeah, but if you're looking for monster rod holders, then you
Oh
just
yeah,
search monster rod holders.
yeah. If you're looking for the rod holders itself, but if you, yeah.
Well, what's new for your channel? What's coming up new? Do you have anything planned? Any trips planned, ready to go? New content?
I I don't really. I may bow out of YouTube. I don't know. I just I'm nothing special anymore, and I don't try to sound conceited or anything, but there's so many people doing it nowadays. It's just not really. I mean, I don't want to let down the people I've collected over the years that watch my stuff. I'm going to put out
Mm-hmm.
videos, but as far as every Tuesday night going to have a video or something like that, I can't commit to anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of time for me to. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, but I'm just not gonna
Oh yeah.
be as prominent on YouTube. All the newer guys coming up, man, they're putting out a lot of great content. So I mean, I'm just gonna keep doing what I've done for years. I've really never done it
Mm-hmm.
for a living or for a job. It's just been fun for me, and kind of help people. I hope I've helped people over the years learn a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just gonna keep plugging along, and people want to watch what I do. I'll put one out every now and again. I'm gonna try to put one out at least once a month. I've got a bunch of them. Like I say, I got 4 or 5, 95% done. I just need to finish them up, pull the trigger. And all my time has been on the Catfish Conference here recently, though.
Yeah, there's true saying. So that's the reason why I did the little thing that I did. It says you're the godfather of YouTube catfishing. So don't
Oh,
stop. So don't stop. No, you can't stop it.
well, I'm not like I say I'm not gonna stop completely, but
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of discouraging, but it's probably discouraging for the newer guys too. They looking, but when you're used to having 20, 30,000 views in a 24-hour period, and then you're down to like 10,000 or less, it's kind of discouraging.
Mm-hmm. I
For
think
me,
it's more like you were talking about. It's more. I think it's more of the YouTube algorithm.
yeah,
What does that? They're looking for new, fresh things that's gonna get people's interest. And
right,
I mean, they like this. They like these new little shorts, videos that they're doing now and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I don't understand all that, the
yeah.
shorts and stuff. I'm not real technical on most anything I do.
Mm-hmm.
I've just now started using GoPros. I'm not really fond of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like, I mean, a lot of people are gonna say it's like, yeah, you're the OG, the takedown king. I mean, there's no substitute or replace for you. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
okay.
yeah, there's new guys out there. There's new guys out there, but yeah, nobody's going to replace you. Nobody could. I
Well, I
mean,
appreciate.
like you, like Chris Flores, Dieter Melhorn. I mean, people like you all. There's never going to be anybody who's going to replace what you all do, what you've done for the community.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not gonna give up. But like I say, it's I'll just have to do them as I can,
Mm-hmm.
and then people's gonna have to take them when I load them up. So I
Yeah.
just don't like to put something out that's just frivolous. I want somebody to get something out of it before I just throw something up to throw something up.
Yeah. Mike Greenwell says he's never fished a day in his life until 2014.
Oh yeah, now you look
So,
at it though.
yep. And he's one of the biggest. He's one of the what we call the bumping. He's bumping Mike Greenwell. He does a lot of bumping, catches some big fish, just bumping.
Yeah, yeah. I did a video on bumping like years and years ago. Like 7, 8, 10 years ago, down below the one of the dams in West Virginia, actually.
You don't do much bumping anymore, or
I,
just
I do, but most time where I'm at, there's not a whole lot of current.
Mhm.
If I'm on the Mississippi or if I'm down around Paducah, I'll bump. But you got to have a little bit of current.
There you go. What kind of motors do you have on your boat? What's your boat that you have, and what kind of electronics are you using on it?
My boat is called a Northwest, and it comes from the Northwest, I guess, Oregon, and it's designed to run up the Snake River and Columbia River, things like that. I have a 250 Yamaha on it and a 8-horse kicker, and it's aluminum. Got a cab on it. That's the best thing about it, though, is
Mm-hmm.
winter, summer, you ain't gonna have no wind. You can talk to your buddy next to you and drive down the river full blast. You can talk, and it's not no different being in the car.
Mm-hmm. What kind of electronics do you usually normally use on it? What kind of like?
I've always
Uh,
had I've always had low rants, and
okay.
I just put two no Lowrances on my boat, and I do have a Garmin something. It's a Panoptics.
Mm-hmm.
Been using that a little bit for the crappie. It's great for crappie and finding bait. I've tried it on catfish a little bit. It's okay on catfish. I'm still experimenting with them on catfish.
You do any side scans, or no?
I do some side scanning a little bit on the
Mm-hmm.
Lowrances,
Okay.
down scanning a little bit. I
You
come
do
from
any live scopes?
that's what the Panoptics is, live scope.
Live scope. Okay.
It's a Garmin live scope. Yeah, I got that one, and like I say, the two 12-inch Lowrance HD somethings,
Mm-hmm.
the newest stuff they have. When Chris was down here last week fishing with him, my depth finder blew up on me.
Oh,
So that is kind of at the end of the day anyway.
it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobcat Outdoor says he'll probably fall asleep inside that cab. It'd be probably comfortable.
Lisa falls asleep all the time. I always have to get her up to take pictures of me. She likes the wave rocking and the it does draw heat, but it's good in the wintertime.
Twisted says so the hydro wave for cats.
What's that?
I don't know. I guess it's something with to do with the scans. Do you use hydro wave to scan for
Oh,
cats?
no, I don't know what that is. No, I thought it might have been the air ride seats, hydro wave seats or something.
Hmm.
But that
Oh,
is
it says they put out sound wave. They put out sound wave.
I don't know nothing about it.
Okay.
Like I say, I'm behind the times on that kind of stuff, man. You younger guys already know what this stuff is. I don't even know.
Yeah, I didn't know they even. I knew they did it for like bigger animals, like out in the sea, but I didn't know that they would do it for like catfish or anything like that. But
That he might be talking about the Panoptics or that live scope stuff. That might
so
be
it calls. He said it calls fish, sends out a injured bait fish replication. So it makes
yeah.
it
I
sound
don't
like
know
a bait. Like
about that. That's too high tech for me.
yeah, I hear that for like they'll do that for out in the sea, trying to bring in the big whales or sharks and stuff like that, but not for. I didn't think you would use that for catfish.
Right.
I wouldn't think catfish would. I didn't think catfish would try to come in for injured bait. They just come after
Smell, I
either live or
guess.
cut or smell, yeah, or just the sound vibrations of something.
Right. Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff.
Yeah, there's Miss Becca. She's like, I'm with you, Steve. Said I'm an old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, Murillo says it sounds like more like hunting than fishing. Yeah. Uh, so what? Any new tackle you're wanting to get a hold of or try? Any new reels or anything you're wanting to try out, or any of the new rods out there? I know you got your sponsorship with them. Are they coming out with anything new that you
Uh,
want to try
who's that?
with your rods?
Oh no,
Or any new rods?
no, we're pretty well just easy on. We don't have a lot of new stuff at all coming out. I
Okay.
just kind of use the same old stuff, unless I'm introduced to it. And I haven't been introduced to anything cool lately, uh, as far as
What
tackle.
about the Uncle Lou rods? Have you seen them and heard about them yet?
Do not know a thing about them. I think I've heard, maybe has life,
Mm-hmm.
and
Haslife talks
maybe,
about them.
yeah, and maybe
Yeah,
Chunky mentioned them before.
yeah. Chucky's got them. John Parker with Real Time's got them. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. They're nice bright orange with a glow in the dark tip, green
Well,
tip.
he's, welcome to come on down to the Catfish Conference in Kentucky if he'd like. I think he's up in where's he located at anyway? He might be interested in Kansas too.
Oh, Uncle Lou.
Your Uncle Lou, yeah. Where's he from?
He is Iowa
Iowa.
or Ohio. I can't remember. Yeah, something like that. I can't remember where
Well,
he's.
we'll
But
contact
yeah,
him for the Louisville show.
yeah, he would be a good one. There's Mr. Epic Catfish.
I talked to him today.
Yeah,
He's a
Iowa.
busy man.
Yeah, Iowa is where he's from. Yeah, he
Uncle
does
Lou.
Uncle Lou rods. Yeah, Uncle Lou is from Iowa.
Well, he just needs to make a little trip to Kansas City and bring his rods and sell them. Because, a couple of the big rod manufacturers had to back out this year because they don't have stock. They're sitting in
Mm-hmm.
a boat out in the ocean right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like everything else.
yeah. But yeah, if he's listening, he can get a hold of him. He can bring his rods out there and sell them. I'm sure he'd
Mm-hmm.
do very well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Uh, yeah, he's in the far northwest corner of Iowa. Yeah, he's Michael Murillo says he thinks he's going to Kansas City. I don't know if he'll bring his rods with him, but he might be coming.
Well, he's welcome to bring rods and sell them too. Just got to get a hold of him here pretty quick so we can make arrangements.
Yeah. Uh, Miss Amy Payne. That's 3+1's wife, Miss Amy Payne. She wants to know what your favorite lake in Kentucky is to fish.
I haven't been on a lake in so long. I mean, I really don't know. I'm an odd case because I haven't fished for anything other than catfish and bait for the last 20 years. I mean, I fished for crappie and bass prior to that, but when I got in and started making a living at this, but I was on Taylorsville Lake the other day, caught some crappie. I was on Green River the other day, caught some bass. So it's maybe Dale Hollow Lake or
Mm-hmm.
Cumberland Lake.
Yeah,
Uh,
Lake Herman.
River
Mm-hmm.
Lake, that's got some good crappie. And I used to go down on Cumberland every Sunday back in the 90s and fish for smallmouth,
Mm-hmm.
and largemouth bass. So as far as a lake in Kentucky to catch catfish out of, I don't know. I've been wanting to go to Barron. I've been hearing Barron's got some good fish down there. So, and Taylorsville's got some good fish, but they have an issue with them jugs or noodles.
Mm-hmm. That's where Amy and them, Amy, Larry, 3+1. That's where they're from. They're from Barron River Lake.
Barron River. I'm gonna get down there one of these days and
Mm-hmm.
fish down there, give it a try. I started to
Yeah,
last
they're
time I come back from Nickajack, but I didn't have no bait left, and it was a chore to get the boat back out. So when you fish for a week and then I wanted to stop in, but couldn't.
Yep. Larry with 3+1 says, "Come on, Steve." Said, "We'll show you around."
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do a lot of the catfishing down there. So
I'll come down there with some minnows and catch some catfish and crappie.
there's Pontoon Jody just came in. She says she says hi to you and hello to everybody watching
I have seen her catching a lot of nice fish wherever she's fishing at.
down in Tennessee.
Is that where it is?
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's Mark from Catfish and Crappie coming in. And let's see. There's Has Life. What's going on, Has Life? Appreciate you coming in here. There's. I thought I saw a question here. It was from. Oh, here you go. Miss Becca. She says, "Who would you say is your most influential person in your life?"
I don't know. I don't know. I've never had them questions asked to me before, so I don't know. Influential person. I love my wife. She does the world for me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Influential person. Anybody that just does good stuff and is nice to people is influential to me. That's contagious. I like to keep her going.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I think
not a
so.
lot of niceness in the world. Everybody needs to be nice
Mm-hmm.
and patient.
There you go. You can answer this one easy. Do you change baits depending on the water temperature?
As far as different kind of baits,
Yeah, like or if you like, if depends on if the temperature's colder, what kind of bait would you use? Maybe something different than you would use if the water was warmer.
now I'm pretty much skipjack just because I got it and it's easy. It's just
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use skipjack most of the time. If I can catch some shad, I use shad, but I use it all at the same time. I don't see a difference. Now I have talked to some guys saying that like moon eye, but that's their
Mm-hmm.
preference. Moon eye works
Mm-hmm.
better in the fall than it
Mm-hmm.
does in the winter. So I really don't know. I don't. I've always used skipjack because it's just easy for me to get.
What about this controversial bait that everybody talks about, chicken?
You know, at one time before everybody else got on it, I was looking for stuff, videos to do too, and I too was going to do a chicken video, but I'm glad somebody else did it because it's done went crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
it works. I mean, chicken just does work. So if you can't go out and find some shad somewhere, go to Kroger's and get you some chicken bait and go fishing. You'll catch fish.
I mean, we all used to use what chicken liver forever. So I mean, why wouldn't chicken thighs, chunk chicken thighs, and things like that not work?
Yeah. I found bottoms of eroded aluminum cans, deer hoofs, and all kind of stuff in the bottom of my live well that these catfish have puked up. Rocks, everything. So I know that they'll eat chicken for sure. If they'll eat a bottom of aluminum can, they
Mm-hmm.
will eat chicken.
Oh yeah.
I see somebody wanting to know why I prefer braid over mono, is it don't stretch.
Mm-hmm.
It don't stretch. I'm a drifter. Have you ever tried to catch a big 60, 70, 80 pound fish on mono that stretches so much? You know what I mean. Now, if you're
Oh
anchored
yeah.
up, it's probably a different story. But if you're just straight down, that's just too much stretch.
Absolutely.
But all this is just my opinion. I mean, I know Justin and Tabitha from the Catfish duo up there, they use mono a lot, and they do very well.
Backwoods Moons Mindset says Suffix 832 all day long. It's his go-to.
Suffix.
Mm-hmm.
That's been around for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
That line,
Yeah,
hasn't
a lot of people still use Suffix. I mean, it's
it?
just something that's just it's something that's always tested time, and like you said, it's still around. So
Right.
I mean, I would go personally. I would go after braid, but down here we got too much snags, too many rock ledges, too many cracks, in just it would break so easy. I'd lose rigs left and right, and I can't afford to do that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the difference. I fish from a boat, you fish from the bank, and I
Hmm.
have to
Hmm.
understand that. Let me tell you, I went down to the Mississippi and I bought me two. The first time I went to Kansas, let me explain a little bit. First time I went to Kansas in June, I met with a buddy of mine down there, Travis Simmer. Him, that's kind of where we stayed, but he showed me these new reels they got, the spin casting reels that light up, the pole lights up. But I went down there on the Mississippi River, try to fish in that sand and that dirt, and the guys on the bank have a real problem with crap getting in their mechanical parts of their reels and stuff,
Hmm.
sand and all that. So I know you guys have some real challenges when it comes to bank fishing. So
Hmm.
something like braid is probably not going to be the best option for you with all those cliffs because your bait's down here and all that cliff. You got to pull all that bait back up that sharp edges and stuff. And yeah,
Yep, and not
but
just
yeah,
that. I mean, with the pockets that are underneath these little cliffs, I mean, that's where the catfish are going to go up and hide up underneath of it. So if they got your stuff, they're going to went right back in those holes. They're just going to wrap your line right up underneath those edges.
yeah.
So I
Hmm.
mean, there you go. Haslife's got a question. What is your least favorite part of catfishing and YouTube?
The least favorite part of catfishing is most likely catching bait when it's hard. And as far as YouTube, I don't really hate nothing about YouTube, or least favorite part, other than trying to figure out what YouTube wants. They're constantly changing algorithms and things like that. So that would be it.
This is the question from the Encyclopedia of Catfishing. Um, he said, "It's obvious to me that if flatheads are hanging out in deep water, 40 to 70 feet, for long periods of time on the Tennessee, what food are they primarily relying on, in your opinion, or guess?"
I don't know. Well, skipjack, I would hope, because they're biting my skipjack. Like some of the big fish I've caught on Gunnersville, there's really nothing there other than a divot. And if you don't know what a divot is, just like a big hole. But if there's 25 foot all around you for a mile, but you all of a sudden have a thin layer of 27, 28 foot, like maybe 2 or 3 foot difference, that's where I'm
Mm-hmm.
finding that more than looking for bait. I'm looking more for, I guess, a resting place or a place that they will travel to maybe go look for food. I'm winging this stuff, man. I'm just putting my baits out there the best.
Oh, that's fine.
But you are
No.
right, though. Mr. Epic, he is a world of knowledge. And I've got him actually speaking at both the Louisville and Kansas City events.
Yeah.
Very, very
That's
knowledgeable.
Oh yeah, and I've had him on here. We've been talking. My new little show I do every so often. I'll do. It's called Fish Tales by the Fire, and he comes out and tells his big fish tales stories and stuff he's been doing. So kind of gives us a history of it, and it's been real good
Yeah,
learning from him. And
You all was on there calling me Godfather of catfishing, but I will have to let you know, Mr. Epic. Um, you know, he's not just coming around nowadays. If y'all don't know, he was in it even before I was. He was in it in a cool way, and they had a pretty cool thing. It's called Pro Cats. I don't. You guys probably never heard that
Mm-hmm.
before. It was a magazine and a TV show, and I think what happened to him and that whole deal was two or three chiefs were trying to run the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he had a family and family life and work kind of took precedent over what the Procast. But yeah, Epic Tim, he is a very old school, very knowledgeable. If you want to learn something catfishing, he'd be the man to learn it from for sure.
I think that goes along kind of with your answer there to Epic. Miss Paula Smith says the gizzard shad, skipjack, and bluegill, they're just hungry.
Well, Miss Paula Fish Smith has caught a bunch of big fish and flatheads. She probably knows. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He is the thesaurus of catfishing.
That's
That
why we
is,
call him. That's why we call him Mr. Encyclopedia of the catfish world.
yeah. See,
That's all
there's
it is just pure
guys,
knowledge.
yeah, some guys can really do that, and some guys can't. The difference between me and him is he'd get on stage and be totally comfortable and be perfect. I'm
Mm.
gonna get on stage and stutter and be like a deer in the headlights. I just can't do it. I get on film and do this, but as
Yeah.
far as getting in front of a people, I lock up. I'm not good at that. And he's very good at what he does. So
Oh yeah. I enjoyed his show that he did for you all for the last catfish conference, the online one. That was good. I liked it. Enjoyed it.
well, I was glad to see him get back into the business, and so that's why I wanted to help him kind of get his start back again. I guess. I mean, he was there at one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm gonna talk him into taking me fishing one of these days if I can
Yeah.
find time.
All right, guys. I think we'll wrap it up for the night. Uh, Mr. Steve, if you want to hang out a little bit, we'll talk a little bit after we end it. Appreciate you all coming on, hanging out. Um, but we're gonna shut it down for the night. We might have Steve back on another day. We'll actually talk about some big fish stories when I get him back on here for Fish Tales by the Fire. So appreciate you all coming on. Make sure you all look up for the Catfish Conference coming up in a couple weeks in Kansas City, and in February I think it's the 18th and 19th in Louisville.
Yep.
So, but appreciate you all coming in here, hitting the thumbs up, sharing it out. But we will catch you on the next live.
Thank you for having me.